Xanderhal is a knockoff, discount, store brand political commentator, and recently he's ran into some pretty serious problems. In his Discord, he writes, "At everyone, pretty bad news for you all today. A while ago, my phone fell out of my pocket and onto my driveway, shattering the screen and making it so it cannot turn on. My two-factor authentication was connected to my number, so I quickly became aware that if anything happened to log me out of my Google, I'd basically be screwed until I can get a new phone with my number moved over to it. Well, that something happened today, and when I came downstairs, my PC had restarted itself for an update. Normal. But logged me out of everything. I got back into most of it, but my YouTube/Google is logged out, and I need my number to log in. This basically means I am locked out of my YouTube channel till further notice. I'm going to do everything I can, short of Karening out at Xfinity Store today, but if that doesn't work, would you guys still support me if I had to start a new channel?" So, to me, this is pretty obviously idiotic. The way he talks here sounds like he had some time between breaking his phone and this computer restarting. He says he became aware that if anything happened to log him out of his Google, he'd be screwed. So that to me says that he had some time, probably at least a couple days, where he could have replaced his phone, swapped the SIM card out, and had his two-factor authentication ready to go. But he did not do that. And if you take a look at his channel, seems like he's still not been able to do that. His last live stream was 9 days ago, and the last video uploaded to his channel was 6 days ago. So I'm assuming he has an editor who had some of his stream downloaded or whatever and was able to upload for a little bit longer. But not looking so great for the guy. And this is really par for the course with this Xanderhal guy. So I want to cover some stuff that I wasn't able to cover at the time. I wasn't doing YouTube. But before that, just a quick clip that's kind of in line with his follies and failures.
Anyway, thank you for the $5, Delancer. I appreciate it. Very kind of you. We have made $5 so far this stream.
Hour and 15 minutes into the stream, and he got his first $5.
Hey guys, what other streamers are you all donating your money to? What the fuck? I'm just joking.
Oof, pretty rough. Fake laugh, cope laugh, I would say. Things aren't going so well for him, and this was 3 months ago that he did this. I covered more of this in a segment that I did. I'll try and remember to link it in the description of this. Pretty entertaining. And he goes on to say like he's had to buy less groceries and stuff. Things have been very tight for him because he does rely on content creation for his income. So, a while back, his girlfriend at the time, Lonnie, posted a twit longer. So if you've been wondering what happened to me, and she posts a pretty long twit longer going over how rough of a spot that she's in now that she and Zan had broken up, and pins a lot of it on him and makes him look pretty bad. So Xanderhal calls in to Chud Logic's stream to explain himself.
Well, holy shit. It feels like just yesterday, you were getting accused of grooming a 30-year-old, and I was getting accused of having a sex cult, and here we are.
Yep, another round of, well, I hesitate to call them allegations because it just seems like I don't know, someone saying a bunch of shit that's nothing to do with you, but try and make it about you. That's my take on it.
Yeah, like I think the reason why she did this is because I'm not a very public person. Like with
Mm.
my personal life, I try not to make most of my like private life public, generally just not a good idea. Like the internet's kind of rough. It's not good to do. And so I think
What do you think people would make fun of you or something, Xanderhal? I don't think people would do that. That would just be mean, rude.
she just saw this as an opportunity to I guess push me into contacting her and potentially giving her more money, I'm guessing. That seems to be her mindset, but Um, yeah, I don't know. Do you have any general questions or anything? I can give you like a rundown of the basics, or you can ask questions. It's up to you. I'm
Um,
tired of shit.
yeah, sure. I mean, I tell you what, there's a few questions I want to ask. I don't want to let you, off without asking some pointed questions to get to the bottom of some of these other issues. But before that, like, what's your kind of perspective and overview, you know, versus what she said?
Um, so she lied a shit ton in her twit longer. I could bring it up and like take down the bits. I already wrote like a whole, how many pages is it? 14 pages about everything that happened beginning to end. So that's what I'll be going over on stream, as well as doing a bit of a Q&A portion just to fill in any gaps that people might have in the story. Stuff like that. I don't think I'll publish it like as a manifesto for people to read. I think it'll just be guidelines for my official like stream and segment where I talk about it, and then I'll put out a gallery of screen.
You can tell that he's downstream of Destiny. The idea that you'd be posting a manifesto, what? Just a response. Why would it be a manifesto?
Shots that are relevant, and that's typically how I handle stuff like this. So basically, yeah, where do you want to start?
Um, okay, so first of all, I guess we can talk about, because I don't want to necessarily probe into the ins and outs of your relationship, but this thing about the cheating. So,
hmm
so you said she was cheating. She said she
So
wasn't. I mean,
she claimed that she got herself a job cleaning Airbnbs or something. And when I contacted a friend of hers, because what actually ended up happening was I realized that money was disappearing from my account, and I noticed this for a very long time, and I didn't quite understand why. It just seemed like I'd have less money in my accounts than you would expect, right? And obviously, like I used
It's very complicated. Money in versus money out, especially when you have one job. Very, very convoluted. I don't know how you'd be able to track all that stuff because they only have like 30 apps that will help you do this. Like you just connect your accounts to it and they they tell you where everything's going, categorize it for you, all that stuff. So I can see why he'd have trouble with this.
PayPal for the income that I get from my website because that's what that's done through. And then YouTube and Twitch always just pays you direct deposit through your bank account. And typically I just transfer that over to PayPal because it's easier to have it like that because debit card swipe, do your thing, do your shopping, whatever. Um,
And he says this like you can't have a debit card for every account ever. So this is him justifying using PayPal as his bank account. And I think he touches on it a bit here, but this has already caused problems for him. I think he says he got hacked and somebody transferred money from his account to their Steam. So right there you'd think that would be enough. Oh, let me set up an actual bank account. But no.
and I'd do a stream or something, and I just noticed that there wasn't as much money in the account afterwards as there should be. I'd be like, what's going on here? What is this? So I'd dig, and I'd look through like my transactions. You go on PayPal, it's got a little list of transactions, right? So you go through that shit, you scroll through it, and there's nothing there, like nothing suspicious, nothing that would make sense as to why there was money missing. Um, and, I'd ask her about this, and at the time, I had no reason to distrust her. I mean, for one, we've been dating for like a year. She's had plenty of opportunities to leave me unconscious in a bathtub full of ice with a scar on my torso. So,
That is that a reasonable fear that very many people share? That they're gonna have their organs harvested by their partner? I could see, maybe you're paranoid about them cheating on you or something like that, or they're mooching off of you, just using you for an easy ride. But harvest your organs? Hmm.
she'd been like doing the shopping and making sure that like we like she not seemed to have been irresponsible with my card or with my finances before. It felt like we were operating as a unit, as you'd expect a relationship to do, right? You're a team, right? You work together. You divide your tasks and you divide and conquer, right? That's what a good relationship's meant to be. um and I thought she was holding up her end of those things. Never let women do the shopping. The far left and the far right agree on one thing: women be shopping. um
Oh yeah, that's a good one. Women be shopping. Nice.
No, but so I go through and I'm just like, something is up here. Something is up here. So eventually after budgeting and after saving and just being like, I'm kind of done with this whole being broke thing. Where's my money going? This is pretty cringe. I'm eating ramen for dinner, and for some reason,
Sometimes, yeah, you gotta really watch the budget and eat some budget meals. But if you're really struggling, a frozen bag of stir-fry vegetables, it's like $2, and you mix that in with your ramen. and you got a meal there. All right. There's not really any reason you should be living off of just straight up ramen.
not not having money saved, and it eventually got to the point where I was like, "Okay, what the fuck is going on here?" So I decided to just not be broke anymore. I decided to Google how to not be broke anymore, in the form of searching how to hide payments through PayPal. And I did a little searching around, and I discovered a little something.
Doesn't that seem like an oddly specific thing to look up when trying not to be broke? To me, that really says that he had suspicions of his girlfriend already, that she was stealing from it, that this is what he specifically felt the need to look up.
And I don't know if this is true. You might know about this, Chud Logic. I don't know if most people watching will know about this because a normal PayPal account that you have for like personal use and a business PayPal account like you and I would have. I assume you have a business one, right, Chud Logic?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And a business one have pretty different layouts. Why? This is why leftists make terrible finance people. Bro, I'm 22. Do you expect me to be like a financial genius? Hold on, dude. I legit, I'm looking at the chat right now, and I really am curious right now. How financially responsible were you guys at 22 years old?
Sure, lots of 22-year-olds aren't financially responsible, but you don't have to be a finance guru to track money in, money out. I mean, that is the absolute bare bones of having a budget. And I get, not everybody's parents teach them that sort of stuff, but it seems pretty obvious as soon as you're out on your own. That's one of the first things you need to learn. And again, they have tons of apps for it and everything. You really don't have to know more than money in, money out to have a solid base.
Where did
Um,
you learn your financial knowledge? They did not teach me this.
listen,
You did not teach me this shit in school. Okay,
Chat's giving you a hard time. Okay, yes, I agree that at 22 years old, you might not
in
be the most
college.
financially knowledgeable. One thing I do want to say though, because is there not a bank account you can get where you just get a debit card? Like, why is it all managed
Chat is like, well, I did have an actual bank account instead of PayPal.
through PayPal? That seems like the wrong way to do it. No.
Um, I had a Suncoast Credit Union account back in Florida, and it was just like big credit union back in Florida, but it's only in Florida. So they're like a big bank back there, big credit union. But once I was in California and I lost my card during the move and had to cancel it, it was like, well, they're telling me I need to go there in person to like get a new card. So what I just do is I get my direct deposit in my bank account from Twitch and YouTube, and I transfer it over to my PayPal. And I plan to get a bank account here in California to streamline.
Pretty sure on YouTube you just get paid once a month, and he makes this sound like it's a thing he's done at least a couple times. So that means he's had months at this point to open a bank account. He's acting like this is a project. No, it's a 1 day errand to open a bank account. You can do it online places. It take you like an hour tops to open a bank account.
Things, but I just didn't get to it for, as you can see now, obvious reasons.
Yeah, of
Anyway,
course.
so regardless, I just noticed that the amount of money disappearing was absurd, and I
And
was
sorry,
like,
one thing
okay.
to ask as well, because obviously
Mhm,
there's a famous tweet that you tweeted out about your
mhm.
PayPal and money being missing. Is that also linked to this then?
The one that I'm thinking of, I think, is one in which like a bunch of charges are made through my account through Steam. And that could have been her using like some Steam like wallet bullshit to be able to get cash. I don't know how. That seems more likely to me that was actually some sort of hacker scenario or like some sort of like actual like someone out there fucking with my account scenario, which is common with Steam.
Yeah, so this is what I was talking about before. He's saying he suspects that his PayPal account has already been compromised previously. None of this was enough for him to just get a bank account.
Steam's kind of high target for that kind of stuff. So that could have been unrelated, but there was other stuff that just seemed suspicious. Like there was a time where, and this was like I had no reason to suspect her, obviously. Early in our relationship, I'm sitting there and I'm at the computer and I'm like typing. I say early, but like early when we were living together, I'm sitting at the computer and I'm like typing and shit. And having a good time. I check my PayPal and I notice there's like a bunch of charges. These are not hidden, by the way, and I'll get to the hidden charge thing in a moment. To this like Chumba Gold Coin Casino thing. And
Right.
I didn't know what this was. I was like, what the fuck is this? So I Googled it. And it's this online app gambling, whatever the fuck thing on the phone. And I was like, okay, well this is not this is not either of us. This is just not either of us. So, hey, Lonnie, you know what this is? Did our card get? Oh yeah, your card must have gotten skimmed at the gas station. Oh yeah, did it? Should I cancel this one and order a new one? Oh yeah, totally. Yeah, it's gonna take 5 to 10 business days for a new one to come. It's gonna be kind of a pain in the ass. And she's like, oh no, yeah, totally. Yep, cancel it. It was stolen. The card was skimmed. And I was like, all right, I'm canceling the card. It's gonna be 5 10 days till a new one comes. It's gonna be kind of inconvenient. Are you, and she literally went all the way in.
I don't know for sure because I've never used PayPal as a bank before, but with a regular bank, or if you use a credit card provider, you can dispute this stuff, right? You can say, hey, this has been compromised. I've been hacked. These are invalid charges. But again, he has so many warnings, so many things telling him that he should get an actual bank account, and he just is too lazy to do it.
On that lie. And the reason why I ended up finding out that she was lying to me is
And at this point, it's like he's doing streaming for a living, right? He can make his own schedule. He has plenty of time to do this.
because later on, when I would go looking through my PayPal and discover these hidden payments in the form of archived payments, I don't know if these exist on normal like PayPal accounts for like personal use, but if you use a business account, you can. I didn't know this because I don't know jack shit about PayPal that I like don't
Oh, good thing you use it as your bank.
regularly use as an aspect to it. You can click on a payment and hide it as an archived payment, which takes it off of that big convenient list of transactions in your PayPal that
Right.
lets you keep track of all of your income and what's coming in and out, and puts it in like a secret kind of like hidden page. And when I found out about that, that's when I saw the charges, and I was like, this hoe belongs to the streets. God damn it.
So you just
And
found all
so
these transactions she'd done that were like not
It just sounds so unnatural coming from him. I don't think he talks like that normally, but all right.
anything you'd approved or aware of, and
yeah,
that's why
yeah,
you were losing the money.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
and I can't. There's only so much typing under the calculator that I could do. It'd be like small $15, $20 like bits
Tizzy says, thank God he's a streamer, otherwise he would be homeless. How can you be this stupid?
that would happen like throughout the day. So it'd be very easy to not notice, right? Like
Yeah.
$5, $10, 25 at the most, and it'd be while I'm asleep or while I'm like out or streaming or when I'm doing something that'll distract me and keep my mind off of like my finances for a while. I know every transaction. Me too now, motherfucker. Yeah.
Well,
Why would that matter? I don't get the impression that this guy is regularly, daily, multiple times a day, checking his account, his transactions to make sure everything's good. Seems like he checks when he has bills to pay to make sure he has enough in the account.
well,
And
the thing is, listen, I feel like, listen,
But for some reason it matters that his ex was being strategic. Oh, he's streaming now. I have a few hours to make a transaction and hide it on the app. I mean, what does that take? 2 minutes?
that we were not
He's just trying to make it sound like it's a heist. Like, no, you weren't you weren't paying attention at all. It didn't need to be expertly timed by some conniving, scheming thief. You just needed to pay any level of attention.
not married.
Chat's giving you a really hard time with this. I think that, obviously with a normal
Well, I
bank,
mean,
you'll
it's
see the
it's it's
transactions.
natural though, right? Because like when bad shit happens to people online, when bad shit happens to anybody, everyone wants to be the guy that says, that would have never happened to me. I'm so much
Hmm.
smarter. Here's how you could have done it better." Like everybody wants.
Well, in this case, I think about 99% of people would be totally fair and right to say that because 99% plus people don't use PayPal to hold all of their money. Right? Like, in addition to all of this stuff, if you have a regular bank account, you're insured up to $250,000 in case anything happens. You don't have that with PayPal,
To be that guy. Everybody wants to be.
right? Like something happens to PayPal, they go broke. You might not get any of your money back, right? You're going to be pretty low down on the list of creditors that PayPal has to pay. You could unironically lose all of your money if they go out of business. Right? It doesn't work like that with an actual bank account. The federal government will give you your money.
The guy that says, here's how you could have done it.
So I think that you know, for me, it's like I understand if you're using PayPal as your financial thing and you can hide transactions, it's going to make it more difficult to track. And you know, you've probably got a rough idea of what's coming in from your stream, but it's not going to be a precise dollar number. You're going to think, oh, I probably made about $200 today or something or whatever, and in it goes. So you're not necessarily going to notice. But I think the reality is, and I think you probably agree with this. So this is probably a big wake up call to go and get a proper bank account set up, right?
A proper bank account, though I do need to get a local one to. Well, I'm moving soon, so I'm gonna have to get another local one. I'm gonna have to get a local one to the state that I'm in now, just because it would streamline
Just get a Chase or a Wells Fargo or a Bank of America account, right? Even if you don't want to use that primary, for some reason you want to have a local one, maybe better customer service or something. I don't know how often people actually use the customer service of their bank, but I mean, if you're worried about that, just get the Chase bank account as a backup. And then if it turns out you don't need it later, just don't use it. You can close it, you can keep the minimum amount to not get fees in there, whatever it is. It acts like this is such a complicated thing.
things generally, and I do agree with that. The only problem is, and you, I don't, is this the problem for you, Chud Logic? But like with my credit union,
Oh, and most of the time, there's a couple banks like at any given moment that will give you a bonus if you set up direct deposit and put a few $1,000s in there in like 2, 3 months. So I mean, there's another reason to do it. You can get free money.
transferring money from my bank account to my PayPal or my PayPal to my bank account takes 5 days, 5 business days.
Damn.
So weekends don't count. So like, it's really a pain in the ass to transfer money from my PayPal to my bank account and just use that instead. Like,
Only if you're broke. If you're not broke, it doesn't matter that the money you just earned isn't in the account at that time, right? But that's only the case for people who budget. So clearly that does not apply here.
Sure.
it's not exact like the transfer back or forth takes 3 to 5 business days, not counting weekends. So it's like,
Well,
you
okay.
know,
My advice to you, I'm not sure what you've got exactly in America, but in the UK, there's like online banks where you can still have all the normal stuff like a debit card and so on, but you can set it all up
Mhm.
online. And I've got like a business account which I use for all my income, and then like a personal account that I draw money out of, and I do all my spending on my business account that for like equipment and stuff. So I think from the sounds of it, it sounds to me like you just need to be a bit more structured with how your finances are working. And I don't know if you've got the
Or be at all structured.
ability to, but
oh,
maybe
I've already dealt with that. That was something that I did very, very quickly after I realized what Lonnie was doing. When I
yeah.
realized that my finances were not in trustworthy hands, I locked down everything, changed my passwords, like everything's so secured, it's ridiculous. I set up like I went and I updated
So secure, it's ridiculous. Coming from this guy, I very much doubt that he is ridiculously secure.
my renter's insurance to include fraud protection. I did like a whole bunch of shit to ensure that. Believe me, I may be financially ignorant
Is that his version of ridiculously secured? He got fraud prevention.
in some respects, but I am not stupid. I learned my lessons even if they're the hard way. But she
If you have to learn this lesson the hard way, I'm sorry, but you're stupid. You are. I don't care if you're 22. You've had multiple warnings, and this is just the most basic of stuff right here.
yeah. Anyways, so I end up discovering these charges. I get naturally pissed off, and I'm like, all right, well, this is already like the straw that broke the camel's back. This alone is enough to completely end the relationship. The stealing thing, no, no, no. Like that's a bottom line. She's done. She's gone. She's
Yeah.
on the street now. Um, but I did have some morbid curiosity because I had my suspicions because she was out, quote unquote, at work all the time. I was like, so what is she spending this fucking money on? So I hit up her ex best friend, who prior to this I
So if she was working too, why did you give her access to all of your accounts anyway? I was thinking maybe he's making all of the money for the household. So, he gives her access so she can take care of stuff and be able to buy things. But if she has a job, or you thought she had a job at the very least, why would you need to give her all that access so early into a relationship? I mean, really, before you're married, I don't know why you would do that. Just, you know, whenever you have to pay rent or utilities or whatever, however you want to do it, just send them half or have them send you half. What? Okay, I was just assuming that he must have been the only one working, and so that was why he had it set up like that. But if she has a job too, just just completely brainless to give somebody full access to your the account where you keep all of your money.
I would have never believed a word out of the mouth of about Lonnie, but now I realize that Lonnie probably fucked this person over, and that's and maybe she is a good person to go to about this. So I talked to her about Lonnie, and she tells me some interesting things. She tells me about the meth, and she tells me about the gambling addiction, and she just generally tells me about her being a manipulative, like a master. The quote from her is master manipulator, like very, very good at lying, very good at convincing you that she's somebody that she's
Ah, I
not.
see. That's how they got into the.
Very
That's how it got because it's obviously it's in this twit longer. So she told you that, you said that to her, and then it's in the twit.
His girlfriend at the time, Lonnie, I think she was around 30 years old versus his 22. So I mean, yes, a 30-year-old will very likely be able to trick a 22-year-old, but that's why you don't give them full access to your bank account.
Longer.
Oh yeah, I mean, it looks like it. Anyway, yeah, so that original quote comes from her friend saying that she's a master manipulator and a liar, and something that she said to me that kind of stuck with me, and it's why I'm so glad that we got the fucking police reports because it's such a, at least for me, it's sort of like, oh yeah, I was definitely right. I'll never have that one shred of did I overreact to all this shit in my brain, like in the back of my head. What her friend told me was that, she'll lie about this to the end. She genuinely believes, that the stuff that she does is morally justified, and she's convinced herself of the reality that she's spooled for herself, and she will never, not even, like, just to your face, admit anything that she's done. She will lie to herself and take those lies to the grave. That is what her friend told me. That's about as close to, word for word as I can say.
And you didn't pick up on any hints of this? Because you said you fully trusted her. You knew, hey, if she was going to harvest my organs, she would have done it by now. But then the friend of your girlfriend says, oh, yeah, they're a manipulative, liar, bad person. You're like, oh, well, must be true then. I guess maybe, maybe this guy is just oblivious to all the clues. And then when he was told that, things clicked into place. But kind of sounds just like this was convenient for him to hear. It reaffirmed his current problems. He's like, oh, yeah, that must be true.
Say. And we had this really long phone call, me and this ex-friend, like 13 hours long, me and her talked. It was a very enlightening conversation and fun as hell because it was like, oh shit, yeah, she does do that. Isn't she such an annoying? Yeah, it was
Yeah.
fun. Anyway,
And this
so
information is also what contributed to the
I
breakup as well. Then.
so with this knowledge that I gained from this best friend, I of course message her and yeah, building the harem. I message her and I message Lonnie. I'm like, "Yeah, so I know about the meth, I know about the stealing, I know about the gambling, and, frankly, I imagine you're probably cheating on me or something. I don't even know what else." Her friends claim she's not a cheater, but, I don't care. It doesn't matter. Whether she cheated or not makes no difference. She's a piece of shit.
And so now he's just fully willing to, based off nothing, it sounds like, assume she was cheating on him too. Like, how do you just so quickly go, you have seemingly zero suspicions, you trust them, and then every single bad thing that they could potentially do, they've done it. You just believe that.
And
Right. So just to
I
clarify, the cheating thing was kind of thrown as
yeah.
an afterthought. It was the stealing, the
Yeah.
lying.
It
That
was
is the main
the
reason for
yeah,
the breakup,
that
right?
was like, "I'm sure you're doing this as well," kinda thing from me, but, maybe a little bit emotional on my part, but I did say that to her. She's not lying about me accusing her of that. I will go on the record saying that.
Okay.
But her behavior was fishy, and I think it's more likely what she was doing was on meth benders and, like, you know, doing what drug addicts do while they're, like, at like, it just
Uh, I gotta be honest, I don't think anybody is hiding a meth addiction from their live-in partner. I just don't see that happening at all.
gone, like, I don't know, that's what I'm assuming she was probably doing, and,
Even something like cigarettes is hard to to hide because they're gonna smell or taste it on you. But somehow in his head, this partner of his was getting away with going off on regular meth benders with his money.
yeah, I dumped her ass. I told her, "You're fucking out. I want you out by the end of the month. I've already talked to the apartment complex. I've already arranged to move out. I plan to stay for a few months in my mom's condo so I can save up money without any bills to worry about, so I can rent a house up in Seattle. And
It's funny he says this. He has to escape off to his mother's house because prior to this, he he basically had to raise money from his fans to escape his abusive mother. But now he's like, oh, hey, this isn't so bad. I can just go live with my mom, save some money for a little bit. This guy just believes whatever is convenient and expedient to his situation.
and I like people in chat meme about me being a dead streamer or whatever, but I average like 350, 400 viewers on a like average day.
Hmm.
I'm doing all right. I'm doing all right, and my viewer count on videos is doing quite all right too. So yeah, it's pretty much where I am now. I'm staying at my mom's condo and saving up for the next couple months.
Pretty sure he's still around a 350 viewer streamer, or maybe even less these days. So he wasn't really on much of an upward trajectory, doesn't sound like.
So I can afford to put the
Well, actually, now he's a zero viewer streamer because he doesn't have access to his YouTube channel.
the payments down for a house up north. And a big part of it is my uncle. This is a bit of a positive side of things. I'm going to give you as a bit of a palate cleanser before I get into the really crazy shit, because we haven't even gotten to the like Breaking Bad tier, like what the fuck is
Yeah.
your life a TV show part of the story.
Okay.
Breaking Bad tier. That's how he's prefacing the story that he's going to tell. Breaking Bad tier that they were somehow able to keep secret throughout their live-in relationship.
Or the part where I went full Sigma. Anyway, so because we haven't even gotten to the like Breaking Bad tier, like what the fuck is
Yeah.
your life a TV show part of the story.
Okay.
Or the part where I went full Sigma. Anyway, so
The part where he went full Sigma. Yeah, that's that's rough to be saying about yourself.
basically, I message her and I'm like, "You're fucking out, all right? For one, I'm moving out of this apartment at the end of the month, and so like they're going to get all this fucking shit out of here. If it's not out, like you can get I'm getting my shit out, you get your shit out. I'm turning in my keys, and if your stuff's still in here, my
This makes me think of that Key and Peele skit where he's like, I said to her, I said, bitch. Wait, you said that to her? You really you called her that? Like, and then they keep running further and further places till eventually they're out in space, so that their wives don't hear them. I mean, that's how this comes across here. Like, really? Were you this to the point and aggressive about it? I really doubt it. I really very much doubt it.
my name's the only one on the lease, so I'll get the eviction. She knew that if she stayed in there and like didn't leave by the day that I was set to move out, then she could get me an eviction. Um, and like the apartment can't have someone living in it when they do the clear out day, right?
Yeah, of course. You
So
got all the stuff moved out, and then they come and they,
yeah,
Right, so he knows that this is on him if she doesn't move out on time, and he's just explained how now he knows she's a master manipulator, liar, meth bender type of gal.
take the apartment
so
back, right?
yeah, so she holy shit. So she oh wait, I was gonna tell you the happy thing first.
Yeah.
I'll wait until afterwards. Here, let me
Okay.
type
Okay.
down the thing that I was gonna talk about that's
Yes.
happy,
Okay.
just so we don't forget. All right, quail.
Okay.
That's the single word, quail. All right, let's continue. So she
Quail is the happy thing that he had to write down. Because this guy is an aspiring quail farmer.
has a month to get out of there, and so do I. I immediately start packing my stuff up because I'm like, well, this place is fucking depressing. I don't want to like be around in this apartment anymore. I guess I'll just go move into my mom's condo. It's nice. It's like a place right around the corner. She rented it a few months back. I'll just chill there. I can stream there. It's like why not? I'll have no bills to worry about for the next few months, and then I can get my own place. It's nice. So that's what I decided to do, and I started streaming, and
So this woman who he had to flee living with her before, now that he's going to live with her for a couple months, oh, it's nice. Oh, it's nice.
making money, saving it up so that I could afford to do that little move towards the end of the year. And I'm like, hey Lonnie, a few days have passed, or weeks passed. Are you gonna, get your stuff out of there? And she's like, yeah, I'm gonna get it out, but I don't have anywhere to go. I don't have anywhere to go. And I'm like, well, we'll help you move if you want to get a the thing she brings up in the twit longer is that we suggested she move to Big Bear. What we did was we found a place that she could get for like $1,400 a month. That would be rent and all utilities except for internet included. As that's past a certain threshold of like I think electricity usage, because it was like a rental VRBO. It was like 1,400 a month for that much included. And I was like, I found this place for you. We like here's a storage unit place. You've got the money for it. Get your shit out. Here you go. Here you
So you
go.
actually helped her in this month, even though you'd split up. You were helping her to move out.
Even because I wanted her out, not because I wanted to help her.
Right.
Because
Okay.
to be clear, no positive feelings for her whatsoever.
Sure.
However,
It's a
I
pragmatic
wanted her
concern.
out.
Is California that bad where, like, I know I'm assuming it's very, very expensive in all of the cities, but can't you live in a smaller town or a good way out of a big city and pay less for just one person? I don't know. I could definitely be wrong about that, but that that sounds like someone who's just never lived outside of a city where you're like super hyped about 1400. Not like it's terrible or anything, but I don't know.
Out.
Yeah.
I wanted her out, and I want her out of my life permanently, and to never hear or see from her again. So I was like, I will help you get out of here, but you better fucking get out of here. 1,400, all bills paid, basically is not bad. It is fucking amazing. That is so goddamn good in America, in a place like that. So basically.
Maybe in California, not across America as a whole, though.
I found that place for her, and I sent it to her. My mom even did some searching and found some places because my mom loves searching random places online for like VRBOs and rentals and shit. So even she sent some shit over her way because my mom and her were friends. We would we would go on drives and like go to dinner and lunch together, and we had like a go into having dinner with the mother-in-law type thing, right? Like not mother-in-law literally, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like that was the sort of dynamic that was going on there, and she refused any help that we.
The way he says that, though, where he defaults to mother-in-law, to me, maybe I'm psychoanalyzing too much, but that sounds like he was seeing himself marrying this woman.
Offered her. She refused any help that we offered her. And another week goes by. I've been here. I've been streaming at this place. If you've watched my streams, you can see the change in setting. And thank God they never. I was never gonna marry her, and I don't think she ever wanted to get married either.
Oh, okay. Sounds like I was wrong then.
Um, but basically, I'm not very big on marriage, and neither was she. So basically, fuck, I'm high right now, so I'm trying to remember where I was.
That's all good.
Where I
So
was
we were
in
talking about.
between.
So you wanted her out of your life. So you were finding a place for her to
Yeah.
live. So I guess the
I tried
question.
to help her find a place to live.
Yeah.
She rejected my help, and at that point, I was like, okay, well, I guess she's moving out on her own. It's on her. If she doesn't get out in time, then there'll be an eviction on my record. But I'll just save up and buy a house if I have to, or like figure some other way around it. Get
If I have to, like it's a last resort to save up money and buy a house. Isn't that what most people aspire to?
a roommate or something that I'm friends with or something. Like figure something out. I could always do that. I wasn't.
Or crash at a friend's place. Yeah, that's more of a if I have to type of situation. Saving up and buying a house is not really a if I have to type situation.
Going to like continue to pay or allow her to stay there. And she was just going to get evicted at the end of the month anyway. So it was like, all right, well, she knows she's got her time. She's seen the things on the goddamn door. Um, and she she knows what's coming. She has her
Yeah.
opportunity to get out. And
But it
so
seems like she had other plans rather than moving out. From the looks of it here.
it would seem that way, wouldn't it?
Mm.
So we go over there about I'd ballpark about 10 days before she was arrested. And we try to open up the door, and the door will not open.
It's crazy to me that if he's worried about the eviction being just on his record, and he's doing so much work is to help her find and set up a new place, that you wouldn't be on top of making sure that she's getting out of there. Like the stakes are very high for you to make sure she gets out of there on time. Like I would be checking there every other day. Like, all right, you on track to get out of here? You should be packed up, ready to go. Not Xanderhal.
It's like we open, I unlock it, I use my key, I unlock the door, we stop by there to try to like make sure it's getting cleared out. I want to make sure that she's actually moving out. Stop by the apartment, open the door with the key, but there's like a lock that's been installed. It's one of those slide outs. What are they called? The ones that swing out and like stop a door. She'd installed one of those, which is like, okay, so not a chain. No, it's like something you do. It's not even a latch. It's some swinging hard plastic magnetic thing. You put a magnet up to it,
It's very important that we understand the exact mechanics of this specific lock. Thank goodness he's getting into this.
and that lets you move it. And then you have to move the magnet to like steady it in place. That's my understanding of how it works. Anyway, so she'd installed one of those to make it so I could not go into the apartment. The apartment that until until a few days ago was still in my name and I had keys for and everything.
What,
It became
she
very
prevented
obvious
you
what
from
she was
getting
doing.
in?
Yes, she did. It became very obvious, and I will be showing this off during my segment today, but I have pictures and stuff that I took in the apartment of everything I'm gonna be bringing up here. Anyway, so basically,
Showing it off. That's a weird phrase to use for that. Seems like you're proud to show this to people and tell people about it, that you're saying you're gonna show it off.
go there. We can't get in. We're like, okay, she's gonna have to deal with what happens when the apartment complex deals with her. And we'll just sit here. Like me and my mom were like, we're gonna get some folding chairs and we're gonna set them up right in front of the apartment and we're gonna get popcorn and we're gonna get Slurpees to sit down and watch as she cries while she gets evicted because she decided to sit there like a squatter for a month with every opportunity to move out to try to fuck me over. And that's what our plan was. And it was gonna be very, very, very enjoyable if that's how it went. However, um things actually ended up going a little bit better. A few days later, end up getting a letter in the mail. Lonnie had attempted to get some credit cards in my name. The problem is she's stupid, and I canceled them before
She's the only stupid one in this relationship. You definitely should be putting yourself above her as the the genius of this relationship.
she could do it, and then locked my credit with the 3 major credit, bureaus, so she can't do anything else there. So my credit was secured, like, in 10 seconds. She wasn't even able to do shit with that, but I had enough evidence, to, get proof of her engaging in credit card fraud. So, as a matter of fact, one of the next, steps on the, road here is reporting her to the police for that. So we'll be filing a police report for that, especially because, like, we didn't do it because she's been threatening to post that twit longer for 2 days now if I don't call her, and I was like, we're not gonna send her straight back to jail 2 days later on federal, credit card fraud. We're not I don't wanna do that right away if she's, like, just, being crazy and has just gotten out of jail and is being hysterical here, but, well,
Yeah, wait till she gets a little bit more established and then drop the hammer on her. That's so much better. Because that way, maybe she's got a job and a new place lined up and you screw that up. That would be way better.
now you better believe I'm pressing charges. She's going
Oh
to
man.
prison. She's going to prison. That's what's happening.
Well, at least you have somewhere to stay at
But
that point, I guess.
yeah, she'll have somewhere to stay. Um, yeah, no, she's going to prison, guys. I'm pressing charges. Like, why the fuck wouldn't I? Like, what am I gonna leave her to be homeless? Like, unironically, like, I'd feel like it's the kinder thing to do, unironically. Um,
Okay. Why you act like this is the kind-hearted thing to do, all right? Look, she scammed you or tried to. It sure, you want to say it's the right thing to do legally? Sure, go ahead. You're really gonna sit here and act like you're doing her a favor?
in
Um,
all seriousness, though,
yeah.
in all,
So just want to clarify. So basically, like she had a month to move out. You kind of put it in the right direction because you wanted kind of rid of her. But then she took steps to lock you out of the property.
Mhm.
Which obviously caused you a problem.
Well, here's
Um,
where things get.
All right, so Zan agrees that she had a month to move out, and he said it was 10 days before, I think. So that's like 3 weeks almost before he checked on this. Right? There's so much at stake here. Like having an eviction on your record is going to make your life a lot harder, unless you already own a home or something like that. So why? Why? Why does this guy just refuse to be on top of anything?
Here's where things get Breaking Bad tier because I
okay.
haven't gotten crazy yet.
Okay, I'm ready.
All right, so we're filing. Well, like at the time, we were like, okay, we got to get Lonnie out of this apartment. And so when we found out she had tried to like do credit, like steal my identity and also like get credit cards in my name, we're like, all right, well, let's just file a police report and the cops will take it right out of there and problem solved. We just move everything out and there we go. And I shit you not, I am literally typing up the order of events to show to give to the police officer when I have the sheriff over to file the report, and I get a call from and this is the county that I'm in. It's a big county, the Riverside County jail system, and I'm like, no fucking way. No fucking way. Because there's only one person it could have possibly been. Who the fuck else is calling me from jail? It's fucking her. And I ignore her call because I know she's in jail, and I'm like, yeah, you sit there scared. Um and so I go and I check online, and sure enough, just as I suspected,
Why would she be scared? I thought it would be the nice thing to do to send her to prison.
at this point I had no hard evidence that she was a drug addict or that she had that she was a thief necessarily. I didn't have the hardest of hard well, I had hard evidence she was a thief. I didn't have hard evidence she was a drug addict yet. And not with meth. But well, I mean, you saw the arrest reports. What I sent you and what you showed on stream is exactly what I found online, Chud Logic.
So, so this, yeah, it seems to be pretty clear cut here. I mean, obviously at this stage, you know, not to run defense or anything, but this is the police aspect. So, I mean, would they prosecute her for this? How would that work? Would they move things forward?
What ended up happening is, so she had a fictitious check on her, which is a felonious offense, and she had obviously meth on her.
I I could be wrong. I don't know for sure, but these are all misdemeanors except for the fictitious checks thing. Are you gonna get misdemeanors for meth? I wouldn't think so. I could definitely be wrong about that, but I wouldn't think so.
Her and probably a pipe and like other meth paraphernalia on her. And what most, as you can see, there's the A's next to the charges there on the bottom. Those are the ones that ended up being sentenced. She
Right.
pleaded. She pleaded down from the felony charge and the two misdemeanor possession charges down to just two misdemeanor possession charges because, well, in California, that's going to be a lot less severe. Also,
Right.
the if you want to look it up, I mean, you can look it up right now. The Riverside court system right now is extremely, extremely backed up and like low on judges. They're pushing people through really fast and pushing people to get plea deals really fast. So she was
Yeah.
like in 3 days of being held, able to get a plea deal down to just some basic drug possession and get out. But I mean, she's got a rap sheet now, you know, really cool to dox her ex too. I'm just gonna go ahead and throw this out right now. This is all public information. Not only is the information that is in that police report, not only was it public before all of this, because Lonnie made her information public, but also that police report is literally public. And none of it is doxing. There's no one's address is even on there. The place of arrest is 2 hours away from the town we lived in.
I mean, I can't listen. I've got to be honest. I can't help but take the sense of
Mhm.
of glee. Like it seems like you're very kind of excited about this.
Yeah.
Do you not feel any sense of sympathy towards her in any way, or
Well, we haven't gotten to the crazy part yet, have we?
okay,
Chad Logic. We
okay,
haven't gotten to the crazy part. So, after I find out that she's in jail, and we've got 4 days to get all the trash cleaned out of the apartment and get it like ready for the apartment complex to like if there's some heavy furniture and shit in there that I can't move on my own because like some big fucking giant like case for like putting dishes and stuff like that. They said that they'd have the maintenance guy with or a couple maintenance guys with like a hand truck deal with stuff like that. And that would just be like I just have to pay the hourly fee for the maintenance guy, which is like $16 an hour. So it's like okay, that's fine. I'm fine with like
Man, that's rough. How much is the mover guy making? I'm assuming they're paying him less than what they're charging you. So dude's doing a back-breaking labor for less than 16 bucks an hour in California?
some heavy shit being left in the apartment and paying whatever it takes to get that shit out. I can't get that stuff out on my own. So um, we go to the apartment and the door's still locked. We can't get in. And we're like, all right, well, let's just call the police. Let's have a cop come here with some power tool. Maybe they'll get the maintenance guy to come here with a power tool, and you can just saw through the lock, right? Just saw right through it. And we ended up going around back first, finding that the back door was actually unlocked. And we were able to get in the back sliding glass door. She must have been so fucking high that she forgot to fucking lock it. So we were able to get in there. And this is where shit gets crazy. Lonnie talked about the apartment being trashed in her little twit longer here. And I have a feeling she might be projecting a little bit because what me and my mom walked into was
One in the chatter says, "A cab, except when my ex is crazy." To be fair, I don't know if Zan was ever on the A cab train, but that's funny if he was.
I thought that there must have been a compost pile somewhere in the apartment. It had been 10 days since I had been to that compost pile my mom walked into was I thought that there must have been a compost pile somewhere in the apartment. It had been 10 days since I had been to that apartment. And I walk in. There are pics and they'll be shown off on stream. Um I walk
Again, he says shown off instead of just shown on stream. Very strange.
into the apartment, and it just smells like a fucking compost
He's like, look at what a pathetic, wretched loser I was dating, guys. Isn't this awesome? Isn't this so cool? The person that I was willing to live with is such a deplorable loser.
pile. And okay, I'm trying to think of where the best place to start of things that I found in there. I'm gonna start with the least offensive things, and we're gonna
Okay.
work our way up to the insanity scale.
Yep.
So, you know how I'd taken the cat over here to take care of her when the AC broke so that she wouldn't, die in like the goddamn desert heat of Palm Springs?
Mhm.
Um, the cat food bowl, I forgot to empty that out, which is fine because Lonnie came home right after that and would have been able to deal with it. But no, for the last 10 days that I'd been gone and she'd been staying there apparently, she had left that cat food bowl, this wet cat food shit, sitting in the bowl on the ground for 10 straight days. And I kid you not, it was full of fucking maggots. The kitchen
Oh.
swarming with these tiny little flies. The goddamn trash can was just vile. The inside of the fridge was literally like pooled with the green juice, like this pale green juice from different like produce that had started leaking and rotting. Because apparently what she was doing was buying fresh produce, like a week's worth of fresh produce, and then let that like, goes bad in a few days, and then like not eating it, letting it go bad to waste money. Um,
I mean, in 10 days, I don't think that's going to be happening, right? You had to have food that was already on its way out in the fridge for it to go that bad in 10 days. I mean, maybe a very specific type of produce spoils that fast, but I don't know. I find that hard to believe in a fridge that it goes so bad that there's green sludge dripping out of the fridge when you're in 10 days.
she oh, here's the crazy shit now. So the house itself was obviously completely trashed. There was garbage everywhere. And then this is what really pissed me off. She was making drugs in the living room. She had a drug making operation going in the living room. And I won't go into super big detail on that. We threw all that shit out. And I because it was happening in an apartment with my name on it and we got all that shit out of there, I don't want like to deal with the shit from it, so I won't go into any more detail than that. But yeah,
Jesus.
that's what I ended up finding in there. And not only that, but I also end up finding what I thought at first must have been some kind of arts and crafts table project. But no. I see sitting on this like I think it was called a cricket or like this. It's basically a segmented cutting board for like it's got laminate. It does lamination. There's a thing for like cutting out different bits for making fake IDs.
Oh
They had a
my
fake
god.
I they were making fake IDs, and their failed fake IDs were sitting on the fucking table. Now, of course, we got pictures, and not only did we get pictures of that, not only did we get pictures of that, but we also, and this will also be getting reported to the police. Not only did we get pictures of that, but we also literally got a picture of the to-do list that she had drawn out, in which she literally says, "Buy a cricket for fake IDs." She'd literally written "Buy a cricket for fake
Oh my
IDs"
god.
on the to-do list. They had a to-do
Jesus.
list of things to buy for doing their crimes and wrote out what they were for in said to-do list. So we got a picture of that too, and
Fucking
promptly
hell.
sent promptly sent every illegal piece of paraphernalia and material straight to the fucking dump, to whence it came, because God knows I did not want to have to deal with any of the fucking consequences for what she did in that apartment. I'd
Why are you talking about it on live stream then? Like, I don't expect the cops to be getting so involved in this case that they're gonna listen to this live stream and follow up with them about this stuff. But if you don't want it to cause any problems for you, why are you advertising this on a live stream?
hoped that while I was gone for those 10 days, because I moved out, that she would, knowing that they were going to be clearing that place out soon, that she would herself clear that place out. And she did take everything that was valuable. She took everything out of there that was hers that was valuable. She'd only really left garbage, big heavy furniture, and like her photo albums and her valuable, like her sentimental stuff, the stuff she talked about in her twit longer. And before they trashed the house, we put all that in storage. It's safe. And it's going to be given to her like as soon as she has the ability to store it. The problem is I'm paying for the storage, so I'm not going to give her the key and be like, okay, I'll keep paying for it. Once she gets that key, that stuff's getting out of that storage unit. I'm not paying for it anymore. None of the stuff in the storage unit's criminal stuff. Um, I'm not paying for it anymore, so she's gonna have to find a way to store it. So I don't know why she's so insistent that her homeless ass living in a car needs to right now have her cat and all of her items back, because she apparently has nowhere to live and nowhere to put it. So, like, she's literally got a storage
Well, lots of homeless people have pets, though. And maybe you could hook her up with a nice shopping cart to put the rest of her stuff
unit
in.
with all of her stuff, and I've got the key, and we'll give it to her whenever she wants it. Like, I want to mail it to her because I don't want to talk to her. But like, once she's got that key, I'm canceling. Like, and she's gotten her stuff out, I'm canceling that storage unit, and she's got to figure out a way to get to store that herself, because I'm not gonna be responsible for it. And I
Sure.
mean, I'm a person. Listen, I'm not a cat person. I love
It sounds like you just said you are responsible for it right now, though. Like, literally, you're on the hook paying a monthly fee for it.
the cat, but like, it's a pain in the ass to have a pet, you know? Like, if especially one that's not as sweet as a dog, okay? If the cat was as sweet as a dog, then it would be it would be a little bit more appealing to have this cat long term. But I assure you, I have no intent whatsoever to keep her cat forever. People in chat have been saying not to return the cat because of the abuse of like neglectful household, and it's like, you've got a point, but at the same time, it's like, one, legally I have to return the cat, and two, it's like, I know it sounds shitty, but like,
Right, because you're doing everything by the law here, right? Like destroying evidence.
I, I don't.
You want
Uh,
her out of your life, and you want the cat out of your life.
I want her out of my life, and I want to make sure the cat's okay.
Okay.
And preferably, the cat could be in her owner's care and safe in her owner's care. That is the ideal thing, right? And that's what I'd like to have happen.
Okay. Well, listen. This is all a very intriguing tale. However, I just want to check something in regards to
Mhm.
the sort of meth lab allegations, because in
Hold
my
on,
mind,
hold on. I didn't say meth lab.
okay, sorry, that's me putting words in your mouth. Okay, the apparatus that was used to seemingly make drugs. Let's put it like that. Okay.
Mhm.
So you're saying you kind of threw all that away. Is that not something you would need to report to the police and have dealt with on an official basis?
So, if you have an apartment and your name is the only one on the lease, and you call the cops and have them come over and tell them there's a drug lab and everything going on in my apartment, but it's my girlfriend that did it, or my ex-girlfriend that did it, let's just say it's gonna be a tough fucking time to like it's just gonna be a tough conversation to have, you know?
But he said he documented the fake ID stuff and he was going to turn that into the cops. Why would that be any different than the drug kit?
I just don't like talking to cops. Listen, regardless of how in the right I am, okay, in any conversation or interaction with a cop, even if it's me and a cop is sitting down on a bench having a beer together, the fact that cops have the ability to, like, you know, arrest you and that's just kind of on your record is kind of a scary thing, isn't it?
Well,
Like,
yeah, I understand where you're coming from, but I mean,
yeah.
I just think it seems to make sense to me that you would kind of lawyer it up, even if it's a public representative, and
So
you would kind of go through the
I'm
official
gonna say
process.
this. I'm gonna say this. It was not a meth lab. It was not
Okay.
meth that she was making. It was not a dangerous or what she was doing as far as making drugs was not dangerous. Um,
From what I've heard, I don't know how true this is. It was DMT that they're making. I don't know for sure, but that's what I heard.
and I'm saving these details for the police because I want to be able to release like a police report for like what we're going to be filing and all of that
Okay.
for the future, because I don't know what she's actually going to get in trouble for. I don't want to promise, oh, she's getting in trouble for this and this and this, and then she doesn't, right? Because I can't promise that. But that's what I found in the apartment, and I threw that shit away because I wanted nothing to do with it. They were clearing the apartment in 3 days, and I could not do a whole fucking like criminal investigation in this apartment during all of that. It's not something I wanted to deal with, you know what I'm saying? So, cleared the fucking place out.
It seems like you were picking and choosing what to deal with, though. For some reason, you're not worried about the fake ID stuff going on in an apartment that's only in your name, but the drug making, you are. And then on top of that, you're willing to say all of this on a live stream anyway. Just not really making much sense.
Cleared the fucking place out.
Okay. Yeah, and but you're saying that there's other
Got
things you are going to
everything
send it to
got
police though. So it's
yeah.
like, you're like that I don't want to get involved in with the police, but this I am willing to get involved with the police. So you're gonna have to talk to the police at some point,
Yeah,
right?
we're going to have to now. When all of this went down and we're clearing out the apartment, I really didn't want to get them involved because it was going to slow down the progress of getting everything out in time for me not to get an eviction on my record. or on my credit, which is what I was trying to avoid because I
But
had
wait,
this
why
deal
would
with it.
why would they do an eviction if there's a genuine reason that this has come up?
Because
Does that?
because it needs to be vacated in time for them to clear it out, clean it, and get it ready for new inhabitants. I'd come to a agreement with the apartment complex manager. My lease comes to an end here. I'm getting the fuck out of here. I was moved out. Her presence there, she was not on the lease. She was like not supposed to even be there. So her presence there, she wasn't a legal tenant, and she was the only one there. So the apartment complex.
I mean, this guy really just set himself up as much as he possibly could to get screwed over. You know, no bank account, use PayPal instead, only have it in your name, only have the apartment in your name, don't monitor your finances at all. Then once you need to get out of there and your ex is still living there, don't check on it until days before the deadline. Oh, and then talk about all of her illicit activities on a live stream. I mean, it's like he's going down the list of worst things I could possibly do to screw myself over and just checking them off.
Wanted her out, and I wanted her out, and I told the apartment complex I wanted her out. So they were clearing the place out. I wanted it cleared out. I wanted to be moved out, and they wanted to make sure she was moved out by the end of the month. And they were going to, and they were officially evicting her because I told them as soon as this all went down, when I realized that Lonnie was stealing my money, I told her, the apartment complex manager, what was going on. She was one of the first people that I ended up speaking to shortly after this because she knocked on my fucking door like 2 days after I found out that Lonnie had been stealing from me to tell me that, like, while I'm packing my shit up, to tell me, "Hey, Zan," or not Zan, "Hey, Alex, your rent's past due." I was like, "Are you sure? Are you sure about that?" By the way, apartment complex manager looks like a milfy AOC. Just throwing that out there. Anyway, so
Okay.
basically, I talked to her. I explained the situation, and she was very, very nice. When I explained to her the age difference between me and Lonnie, that was when she seemed to have a personal vested interest in making sure that like this worked out in a way that didn't involve a eviction on my record. And so that's sort of how a lot of the prerequisite to everything needs to be out by this day in particular needs to be out. Please stop, bro. Okay.
No,
You
listen,
guys
listen.
got to be hold on, wait, Chud Logic. You do not get to be Chud Logic viewers and get offended by that.
No, listen. Okay, right. This is what I want to say to you. Okay, based on your financial setup, I'm just a bit concerned that maybe this hasn't been dealt with in the best way, and I just don't want you to get in trouble because you've taken some action that dismantles this apparatus that was set up, and then you're on the
Oh
hook for
no,
something. Is that not a potential thing that
so
might happen?
we're we're fine. The thing we're going after Lonnie for most likely, I don't think we're gonna go after her for like the drug shit or anything like that. She already got like a
Yeah, that would be completely idiotic to do that now that you've destroyed and disposed of the evidence. I mean, you kind of committed to not reporting that to the police at this point.
priors for drugs now. Like, why the fuck is that even necessary? All I'm doing then is like getting myself like more embroiled in all of that. So what I intend to do is literally just here's the evidence of her falsely trying to get credit cards in my name. We're just reporting her for that. These are federal crimes, so that's what we're going to do. And I didn't want to have to do it, but at this point, I don't really have a choice. She's not going to leave my life. She's not going to leave me alone. She's going to keep on starting shit on Twitter. She's going to keep on trying to do things to get my attention and try to pressure me into helping her financially. She wants her car out of the fucking impound because, oh my God, she literally had every opportunity to get her. Listen, I had every opportunity to get a bank account in California. She had every opportunity to go and get her tags updated. They were expired in 2018. That is how expired they were. Her tags on her car, I found out, and I didn't find this out until after I broke up with her. Her tags on her car expired in 2018. So that's probably why she got pulled over, as she said in her twit longer. I believe that bit of the story.
I mean, yeah, listen, she's done some stuff here which is just indefensible and really stupid. And here's the thing though, right?
So have you, Zan.
Because, like, I understand you want this, essentially this bitch out of your life, I guess is how you'd put it. I just wonder if there's a bit more of a balance, though, because you really seem to be kind of relishing the idea. I appreciate she's done a lot of fucked up shit, according to you, but it feels like you're really relishing, like, her going to jail, say, and stuff like that. And I just wonder if there's any sort of, like, spite influence in all of this that's affecting the way you're dealing with
Oh,
this.
like in the same.
It's just weird to me that you seemingly have no suspicions of any of this sort of stuff, and then but over the course of a couple days, then you're suddenly excited that they're going to jail.
Same way that when I had the sex cult drama, there was some spite for sure. Like when somebody is like fucks you over the degree that she fucked me over, and then tries to go to the internet to drum up a little pity party in the way that she did. You read her twit longer. It's a pity party. She's begging for money and sympathy. It's all it is. It's meant to. It's for e-begging. Like that was her whole point here, is that she wanted to go to the internet to get attention and to make money.
I mean, yeah, sure. I don't disagree with your analysis there. I think that's probably true. But I mean,
And
she sounds like a kind of.
I
Sorry, go on.
am I am genuinely I have like a shred of sympathy in her for like her situation, but like I don't know if I can get across to you how many opportunities she had to avoid this. Like she had to go out of her way, you know?
Okay, well, if that's your metric, though, then everybody is perfectly in the right to point and laugh at you for not setting up an actual bank account.
To get herself arrested, to hang out with drug dealers and drug addicts who are like, by the way, she lied about that guy being on probation. He has an out of county warrant. That's why he was held without bail. You can look at go look at his arrest thing right now. It says literally out of county warrant, no bail. That is, she literally lied about that directly in her uh uh thing. Yeah.
Yeah, I just, and the thing is, it's a difficult position to kind of say, because I'm not saying you need to like look after her, like you want to be done with her, and I totally get that. And she's done some fucked up shit, but like she sounds like kind of sick and desperate, and I think that.
Listen, she was very good at making me feel bad for her. That's all I'll say. Okay. Every time that
Okay.
I found out, listen, all I'm saying is every single time that I saw some sussy fucking shit going on in my account and I was like, Lonnie, what the fuck is this? This is weird. Like, what's going on? She played the pity party. She did this exact kind of shit. Textbook woman manipulation. True. Like, I'm sorry, but it literally is just that.
No, I'm just trying to put a different alternative position to you because, like I say, it's difficult for me to
Oh, I'm
ask you
sure
to
she's
care.
miserable. She's definitely in a bad place.
Right.
She is
Okay.
definitely in a bad place and not doing well. However, she is also a manipulator who's trying to make money. I really hope she gets help. I hope she gets rehab. And frankly, I hope that in 3
Yeah, it sounds like you really hope she gets help.
months or whatever, she's clean and living a happy life. I don't wish poor on her. I wish bad things on her. But if she's going to keep on doing these self-destructive things, especially if they're meant to also hurt me, as it would seem, then I can't really feel that bad for her specifically.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you're very close to it. This is very personal to you. So I kind of get that. It just
Yeah.
feels like you're really relishing the idea that she's gonna have bad things happen
Wait,
to
but
her.
like, wait, okay, wait, hold on. Like, have you ever been in a situation like this? Have you ever been fucked over to this degree and like
Not
out
to
of
this
your
level, no.
control? Like, I didn't get her arrested. She was out, got arrested with drugs, and it happened to her because of her actions. Why should I feel bad? She was out, like she was literally.
It's not even necessarily that you should feel so bad about it, but you should be. Right, that's the impression that I get from how he's delivered this story.
I don't know.
Listen, no, I'm
I don't
not.
know. I
Listen,
just
okay,
feel
wait.
bad.
That's like almost a false dichotomy though, because I'm not saying you need to feel bad and be like crying tears, but you're almost like we're sending this fucking bitch to jail, and that's like kind of on the other end, right?
She would literally. I genuinely think she'd do the same to me to get ahead for herself. I genuinely don't think that she'd.
Yeah, like that seems so bizarre that he was so easily to just completely flip his position from, you know, trusting this person, living with them, letting them manage his finances, and now then days later, this is what he's like.
Draw the line.
It seems like he just wants to make it out that she was the cause of all of her and his problems.
Before that.
Like, do you think that your view on this aligns with maybe some of your perspectives about rehabilitation and police and things like that?
Yeah.
Right. So if you heard about like a drug addict going through like a tough time doing some fucked up shit, you'd be like, get that bitch to jail, fucker, da da da. Or would you maybe be a bit more sympathetic if you didn't know them?
Do you think there's a difference between the state of the current American prison system that seems to basically take people who are like kind of criminals a lot of the time and pump them out being more so criminals? Like you go in there for like possession of some shit and you come out and a lot of people come out of jail more of a criminal than they came in. Recidivism's a big problem. People in chat are like memeing about this and omega lolling as if recidivism isn't a
Listen,
problem.
mate,
What are
come
you
on.
even
Why are you
talking
looking
about?
at chat? Chat's gonna fucking,
Wait, well, I'm a streamer. Wait, we're literally both streamers. The
Yeah,
point
I
of being
know.
a streamer is you meme with the chat. You like when someone says something stupid in chat. That's like, listen, wait, hold on, listen to me for a second. Chud
Yeah, but
logic.
all the drama
People,
frogs are in it, aren't they? They're trying to wind you up. They're
wait.
trying to
Yes,
wind
yes,
you
I
up,
know that.
mate.
Hold
Okay,
on,
go
hold
on, go
on.
on, go on.
Yeah. I know. Obviously, there are drama frogs in here that want to wind me up. Obviously, no doubt. The point that I'm trying to make right now is that a lot of people will no doubt watch your segment or watch this VOD after it goes up and have questions about things like that. And while that person might be drama frogging and asking in bad faith, there's no doubt going to be someone down the road that's like, well, why didn't Xan do this? Or what about this? Or why did Xan do that? Oh, Xan's such a piece of shit because he did this. I'd just like to clear those misconceptions up.
Sure, no problem, mate. No problem. Okay, as long as you're happy, that's the main thing. Okay. Okay.
R2 Magnum says Xan should do a drug test to prove he wasn't the one doing the drugs. I mean, yeah, I think he should have done that on live stream, show the piss test results.
So anyway, I mean, yeah, like I say, I mean, I have a hard time, feeling a high level of sympathy, but I have some level of sympathy. I just feel like because you're so close to this, it's kind of obvious, right? But you're going to have a more emotional response that might supersede, like a principle you might have or something like that. But you were explaining about the jail thing, and you were saying about people coming out of jail, recidivism. What point were you trying to make there?
So I don't think that my personal dealings with somebody who has attempted to use my like facilities, my resources to get by in life and fuck me over. I don't believe that me using the currently existing legal system that currently sits in place for situations like this. I don't think that me believing that there needs to be some changes or some
Hmm.
just some improvements to our criminal justice system. I don't think that means that it makes me a hypocrite to call the cops when someone steals from me. I don't like what is this? I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't want to like make
That's not really what the criticism is. People aren't like, "What? I can't believe you'd report this to the police." Again, it's the glee with which you're retelling this story.
it all like rude, but I don't know. It just seems
No,
like
listen, you
a
can be rude to
odd
me if you
argument.
want. Okay, I'm asking some probing questions. It's all good. I just like to give
Wait,
people a. So go on.
yeah, I'm curious. Do you think of me as like the ACAB screaming type? Is that generally like
I
the
don't
type
know.
that
I mean,
you
my
associate with me?
perspective on your politics, from what I understand, is you're a bit more of like an anarchist-leaning person, but particularly over the last year or so, maybe a bit more, you've come to a more moderate kind of almost sock dem type position. So I imagine you
Mo-
probably think the police should be reformed or something.
most people call me like a progressive lib. That's
Yeah.
just generally where I sit because it's anything past that point, and you're basically larping about nothing that's going to be relevant in modern day politics. And you can talk about issues that are like radical, like, oh, I think we should solve this problem, even though any solutions be radical to it. This is a problem. I think that's fine. But like, I think that more pragmatic, like not even sock dem, but like even like policies like Medicare for all aren't even that popular among the Democratic Party. I'm pretty sure it's more like things like this are not. I'm not super duper on board with like the super ridiculous, never going to actually get past stuff on my content anymore. I don't think it gets anywhere, and I don't think it's productive. So I'm not all on that fucking ACAB screaming shit all the time. So I don't know where that conception comes from, but I do
All the time. So that sounds like you give it a little bit of credit then.
uh, think that there needs to be improvements to our criminal justice system, and I don't think that like drug addicts are people that should just be tossed to the wind and thrown about in society as like garbage to never be seen or thought of again. But like,
Unless it's your
holy
missus.
fuck,
Unless
what
it's your
as you said,
missus.
as well, I mean, as you said before, like, is it my responsibility to make sure that like this person who's fucked me over is doing well in life? Like, no, Giga Chad, fuck her. She's done.
I
She
mean,
she had she did this to herself.
Okay. Oh yeah, he did say earlier that he went Sigma, and now he called himself Giga Chad here. I gotta be honest, this story does not give me any impressions of Giga Chad or Sigma at all.
I'm sorry. Like she has
It seems like you got completely had by this woman, and then even then you're like, "Oh, I'll help you get a new place," and all of this, and covering up crimes and stuff. Is that Giga Chad to hide evidence of crimes? I would think Giga Chad would just take it on the chin, no?
there are still chances for her to save her future. She
okay.
can still save her future if she gets her life on track. Pulls herself up by her bootstraps. I don't know. But like I
Jesus,
don't know
get
what
a
to
job,
tell
am I
you.
right? Why don't you just get a fucking job? Jesus. It's fucking hell.
You'd think, right? No, but I mean, obviously, there are plenty of policies that could be introduced that would help drug addicts with getting back on their feet. But this isn't a world that we live in. I mean, I imagine so, like in maybe a place like California would be the first place to implement something like that, but not yet. Doesn't seem like it.
Yeah,
So
listen, people are giving you a hard time. At the end of the day, if someone is doing something that's personally affecting you and, they fucked you over, you've got no obligation to like do anything beyond, like maybe give her the keys for this lockup, I guess. That would probably be the only thing.
yeah, I'm just gonna send them to her. And when she's like, yeah, send him to this place, I guess. Like, here's where I'm staying. Send like mail him, and I'll mail him and drop off her cat and stuff. That's and
But
assuming like I like people are so torn.
That seems like a terrible way to do it. Should be a meet me here at the storage facility on this day, take all of your stuff out, and then I'm turning the keys into the facility. Otherwise, you're signing yourself up for more liabilities there.
On the cat thing. I'm giving her the cat.
Seems like Zan really has not learned all that much from this experience. He's still just, oh, I'll just send her the key and I'm sure she'll take care of that right away. Won't cost me any money. She won't she won't wait around an extra month or two getting her stuff out of there.
Like, I'm sorry, guys, if you don't like that, but it's her cat. Like, I'm only watching the cat because she wasn't capable of doing so, and the cat couldn't stay at the apartment when I brought her over here. So, yeah.
yeah, I mean, I think the cat thing. I don't really understand. If she's not got a place to stay, I don't know what she would do with the cat in the first place. So she would need to get a bit more stable before getting the cat, I would have thought.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I would think too. Like, why is she
Sarah in the chat says, "This is the first time I have watched Xanderhal, and he comes off as a dick."
screaming for it so much right now? I understand that she's like mad that I won't talk to
You know, now that I think about it, this sort of context is the only way I've ever seen. I've never unironically watched Xanderhal. It's only at his lowest moments.
her, but like she she knows what's up now. Like, I talked about it on Twitter. She doesn't need to do the. I mean, she hasn't tweeted in a while, so maybe she's done. But yeah.
I mean, she might be
That's more-
sleeping. I don't know what if she's on.
Oh, she's
on the
she's
meth.
probably asleep. Yeah, I mean that's what she said on Twitter, but I haven't talked to her and I don't intend to. I just want her out of my life. That's more or less my goal. And now I can finally get to the uplifting part of this
Yes,
story.
let's go. What's the uplifting part?
So I have an uncle back in Florida who raises quail or raised quail. He had to stop because his job. He got a new job and it's too much work. He can't be home enough to raise them anymore. But raising quail is not exactly hard. And it seemed like pretty fun, pretty cheap. You got free eggs every single day because female quail lay an egg a day, and they're these cute little eggs. They're like the size of ping pong balls. They taste like a normal chicken egg, but they're nice and light and fluffy. And I just really like the idea of animal husbandry, and so my plan is to go the fuck up to probably like I'm thinking north of Seattle, or maybe probably actually south because I want to be near Mount Rainier. I like the big lonely mountain from the Hobbit type feel, and I'm also closer to a lot of my friends there. A lot of political streamers are obviously up in Seattle and everything, and so I'm planning to get a place there, establish a
Is it a lot of political streamers or is it Vosh? I think that's where Vosh is roughly.
little backyard quail thing and incorporate that in my content. So that's the future. That's what we're doing.
So you're going to become a quail farmer and stream about it? Is that what
Not streaming just quail. Like
okay.
The idea that I had would be like you know how Bo the Fifth Column does videos where it's like, oh, he's in his shed and he's talking about some political thing that happened or something that
Oh,
occurred.
yeah, okay.
Instead, it'd be like, all right, well, here I am. I got my GoPro strapped to my head. I'm gonna gather the quail eggs, feed them, and clean out their coops. And while I do so, I'm gonna talk about politics. So that'll just like the deal, like taking care of the quail will be like the sort of foreground content. I don't know. I think it'll be unique. I feel like a little bit of animal husbandry in the political scene could be a little bit of a unique, special thing to throw in there. What do you think?
Yeah, no, that sounds good. It's certainly unique. I don't think anyone else on Twitch is doing that.
Does it sound good, Chud, or does it just sound the unique part?
Yeah,
Not
I mean,
yet. They're gonna steal my idea now.
I mean, it's pretty. I think it's pretty unique. I don't know if people could rustle up a quail farm quite like that.
The people in your chat are already fucking googling quail eggs and incubators online right now. Don't you fucking do it. I know you guys have a perfect idea right here. Don't you guys do it?
But no, that sounds good. I wish you luck with it, mate. Are you going to TwitchCon?
Am I going to TwitchCon? When is it?
7th of October, I think, around that time.
Honestly, maybe. Yeah, are you gonna be going there?
Yeah, I'm going to be going. I'm doing a face reveal stream and all sorts, so it should be good memes.
If you don't look like your profile picture, I'm going to be very disappointed.
Also, what did you think of the Destiny manifesto?
I read a little bit of it, and I actually want to listen to the whole thing.
Well, there's only a
Because
minute left. I'll just
I
finish
want to
it
hear
up.
Destiny's entire side of everything,
Mm.
regardless of whether or not I want to hear his side and his context to everything, and see what my opinion is coming out of that. Could be interesting. It's like when you get like the backstory to a character that you don't necessarily like too much in like a TV show, and maybe you come out of that feeling a little differently about them. Who knows? We'll see. I'll get my takes on it on stream, I'm sure.
Okay, sounds good.
I don't even know which manifesto this would have been at the time.
Well,
which is not a great sign if your a manifesto of yours is referenced and people are like, oh, which one would that have been?
Thanks for coming on. Yeah.
Absolutely.
And
Talk
hope
to
your
you
stream
later.
goes well later.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna have to push it back a little bit because I'm tired as shit. But yeah, have a great night. Thank you for having me on. I'm sorry if I was a little bit slow talking. I've been up all night. I was writing out the like the basic points that I wanted to touch on when I talk about this on stream and gathering some of the screenshots and the photos and stuff like that. So probably gonna stream it either at 5 p.m. today or at 6 p.m. PST. Probably have to push it back from 3 because it's 8 a.m. right now and I'm about to get to bed. So yeah, that's the plan.
No worries, mate. Have a good one. I'll hopefully be able to catch the coverage later.
Alrighty. Well, I'll talk to you later. Have a good one. Thank you for having me on.
Cheers, mate.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Deuces.
All right. Oh, that was an enjoyable revisit trip down memory lane, viewing one of the failures of Xanderhal. And while we're at it, I played the video a little bit at the beginning, but here is an all-time classic Xanderhal clip, and just pay attention to him from the get-go. It looks like he feels this coming ahead of time already, but still chooses to do nothing about it.
Just nodding their head as if you're a child and
Absolutely.
going along with what
Sure.
they're saying,
Yeah.
but not actually internalizing any of it and like introspectively considering what you're saying. So like a Cheeto sounds to me kind of like that, like a good person on the outside, but
I mean, maybe the 2-3 seconds that we saw here, that was really all of the heads up that his body gave him. I find that that's pretty rare that you get that little of a notice from your body. And the thing is, all you need is like 30 seconds to and run to the bathroom and get to the toilet. But instead, he just sits there and kind of looks sick, doesn't even try to move towards a garbage can. Just lets it happen and leans over the armrest of his chair straight onto the floor.
like intellectually and I guess morally, they're kind of like shallow and they don't really look inward at themselves
You can kind of hear Lonnie in the background here.
and try to like critique their own ideas to the point where like, you know, they constantly backslide back to those dog shit takes until eventually they alienate everyone. They're like,
Sure, I
Absolutely.
think that you're probably
Which-
right about that
guys,
for a
guys.
lot of people.
They just keep talking about their stupid Twitch poll stuff. They're in the call with Zan here. And they just keep talking about this as he collapses onto the floor in his own vomit.
Did Xanderhal just die?
I think Did he's he? throwing
Is
up.
Xanderhal died? No!
Okay, guys,
No,
guys.
no.
Shut up. Bond, wait, everyone stop. Calm yourself,
He's
calm.
throwing up, guys.
Oh,
He'll be
fuck.
just a second.
He'll just be a second, guys. He's just Ralphing.
Christ. Hi, Lonnie.
I'm okay.
Are you?
all right,
Hi, everyone.
that is unfortunate. The things Zan does for his career.
Cut it all. End it.
I puke for charity.
Good.
You know, that should be the next $1,000 goal.
Cosmo made it to a trash can, right? No, it didn't sound like it. It sounded like it splattered straight onto the floor.
Xanderhal pukes for charity.
So sorry for
Someone
laughing,
please.
Sam. I'm so sorry for laughing.
Please.
I'm not.
I'm here.
Like,
This is.
he does it to him.
Yeah, she's bringing a bag, so he was not puking into garbage, just straight onto the floor. She's like, "Oh, look, I mean, this is still going to be a gross mess, but at the very least, do it into a bag would be better."
Himself to an extent, but also he's having
Hey,
fun.
go to the bathroom. Why can't you ever throw up in the toilet?
There we go. That's the best part. Why can't you ever puke in the toilet? So this is a regular thing that he did, and she had to clean up for him. It seems like just such a child. Like, come on, man. I mean, really, that is the actions of somebody who seemingly has never cleaned up their own puke. That there's just no effort beforehand or during to make it to a trash can or the bathroom. Just, nah, the floor is fine. Oh, and I'm pretty sure the reason that this happened at all is because he got too high. He hitting the Benjamin too hard.
Oh, give it to
Okay,
him,
I'm
Lonnie.
muting him. I'm muting him. I'm muting him.
Okay, but yeah, I'm sleeping out.
And then as this is going on, his socials pop up. Like, if you look what you see, guys, you can find more at these websites.
Okay, Xander's muted everybody.
I don't know if he's gonna catch up to this part of the stream, but Lonnie, for the love of God, please keep giving Xanderhal shit about not using the fucking trash.
So-
Holy hell.
So Chad, how's everyone doing tonight?
Oh yeah, sorry.
Susan.
We were talking about something, and I just lost my train of thought. Fuck.
Yeah, I think. Oh yeah,
we were talking about your friend
like,
Cheeto.
Conservatives.
Right.
and,
Yeah.
His friends just move on. They're like, yeah, sucks to suck. And your girlfriend's right to make fun of you for not making it to the bathroom. But I don't even really know what it is about this guy. I just truly enjoy watching his patheticism. It is very entertaining to me.